Antarctica. The world's greatest freezer is melting. Trillions of gallons of water are draining into the oceans. Sea levels are rising. If it remains unchecked, a large share of population in small islands and low-lying coastal areas will be completely submerged. Scientific research indicates sea levels worldwide have been rising at a rate of 3.5 millimeters per year since the early 1990s. The trend, linked to global warming, puts thousands of coastal cities and islands at risk of being claimed by the ocean. Over the past century, the burning of fossil fuels and other human and natural activities has released enormous amounts of heat-trapping gases into the atmosphere. These emissions have caused the Earth's surface temperature to rise, and the oceans absorb about 80% of this additional heat. Bangladesh. It will be among the most affected countries in South Asia. A 2-degree rise in the world's average temperatures in the next decades is expected, with rising sea levels, more extreme heat, and intense cyclones threatening food production, livelihoods, and infrastructure, as well as slowing the reduction on poverty. Most predictions say that warming of the temperature of the planet will continue to rise and is likely to accelerate. A recent study says we can expect the oceans to rise between 0.8 and 2 meters by the year 2100, enough to submerge many of the cities along the US East Coast. More dire estimates include a complete meltdown of the Greenland ice sheet, sea level rise to 7 meters, enough to submerge London and Los Angeles. Maldives. Consisting over 11,000 islands, it is the world's lowest lying nation. The island is threatened by rising sea level. Scientists predict the rise of just 1 meter would submerge Maldives and vanish the country from the global map. A 50-centimeter rise in sea level will result in Grenada losing 60% of its beaches. There are currently 52 small island developing states, and they're vulnerable to climate change and sea level rise. The combined emissions of small islands represent less than 1% of global emissions. Yet, these islands are the most vulnerable to changes in climate patterns, and rising sea levels can cause loss of small islands, disrupting economies and livelihoods. So raise your voice by planting a tree. Raise your voice against deforestation. Raise your voice to control vehicle and industrial emissions. Pursue the 4 R's. Pursue positive initiatives such as the use of renewable energy sources. Otherwise, within a decade, sea level rise will make several small islands and low-lying coastal areas uninhabited. Mother Earth has given us so much. Let's give something back to her. Together, we can make a difference.
Raise your voice, not the sea level.
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 Raise your voice, not the sea level. Raise your voice, not the sea level.
Raise your voice, not the sea level.
Raise your voice, not the sea level.
Raise your voice, not the sea level.
Raise your voice.
Not the sea level.